The partition of British India in August 1947 was a momentous event. It irrevocably changed the Indian subcontinent. It led to the creation of two new nations, India and Pakistan. This event triggered mass migrations, violence, and immense human suffering. The partition remains a stark reminder of the human cost of division and the challenges of nation building. The partition was not just a regional event, it had global consequences. It marked the end of the British Empire. It also reshaped the geopolitical landscape of the post-World War II era. It is crucial to remember this event. We must learn from its lessons. Understanding the partition requires examining its historical context. British colonialism in India played a significant role. So did the rise of nationalism and communal tensions. By understanding these factors, we can better grasp the complexities of this historical event. We can also appreciate its lasting impact on the Indian subcontinent. British rule in India, which began in the 18th century, sowed the seeds of partition. The British employed a divide and rule policy. They exploited religious and cultural differences to maintain control. This strategy exacerbated existing tensions between Hindus and Muslims.
As the independence movement gained momentum in the 20th century, these divisions became increasingly prominent. The Indian National Congress, primarily led by Mahatma Gandhi, advocated for a united and independent India. The Muslim League under Muhammad Ali Jinnah demanded a separate Muslim state. Jinnah argued that Hindus and Muslims constituted two distinct nations with incompatible aspirations. He believed that a united India would lead to the marginalization of Muslims.
The growth of Hindu nationalism further complicated the situation. Organizations like the Hindu Mahasabha and the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or RSS, promoted Hindu identity and interests. They often clashed with Muslim nationalist groups, fueling communal tensions. The British government's failure to address these escalating tensions contributed to the eventual partition. In the years leading up to partition, communal tensions escalated. The partition of Bengal in 1905 along religious lines, though later reversed, created a precedent for division. The outbreak of World War II further heightened tensions.
The Muslim League supported the British war effort, hoping to gain concessions. The Congress, advocating for non-violence, opposed it.
The failure of the 1946 Cabinet Mission to find a workable power-sharing formula deepened the divide. The mission, sent by the British government, aimed to create a united India with safeguards for minorities. However, mistrust and suspicion between the Congress and the Muslim League prevented a consensus. The breakdown of talks led to widespread communal violence in Calcutta, Bihar, and Noakhali. These events convinced many that partition was the only viable solution. In June 1947, British Viceroy Lord Mountbatten announced the partition plan. This plan divided Punjab and Bengal, provinces with large Muslim populations, along religious lines. It also granted independence to India and Pakistan on August 15, 1947. The Radcliffe Line, named after Sir Cyril Radcliffe, demarcated the borders between the two nations.
The partition plan was hastily implemented, leaving little time for proper planning or resettlement. It unleashed unprecedented chaos and violence. Millions of Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs found themselves on the wrong side of the newly drawn borders. This displacement triggered one of the largest mass migrations in human history.
The partition led to unimaginable suffering. Millions were displaced, and communal violence claimed countless lives. Governments struggled to cope with the influx of refugees.
The partition scarred the social, political, and economic fabric. India and Pakistan have been locked in hostility since independence.
The partition had profound social and cultural consequences. Its legacy continues to shape the Indian subcontinent.